Atlanta Mayor Keisha Bottoms. She and her husband don't have bad symptoms, but were diagnosed positive. Mayor, thank you for showing up tonight. Do I have the news correct?
That you're right, Chris. We tested positive. One child has tested positive. So, hopefully it won't get much worse than this. My symptoms have been like my seasonal allergy symptoms. I've had a headache the past few days and just, a little dry cough, but that's not unusual because I have that with my allergies, which are just about year-round in Atlanta. And my husband literally has been asleep since Thursday. And so...
All right. He's been asleep since Thursday. Let's just talk mom to dad here. Sick person to sick person for a second, all right? Because I can only imagine what you're dealing with in terms of how to manage the household now, how to protect the other kids and what you have to do and where they can go and all this. He's been sleeping. Any fever?
No. Well, actually, he had one at about 99, but again, we both have allergies. Mm-hmm. So it's not unusual when everything is in bloom.
Now, everything's random. Everybody's random. You'll see now, you'll get the frustration that we all have of everybody's going to tell you different things. But I got good news for you, okay? My wife felt exactly, it's not a boy-girl thing, but she felt exactly the way you do right now. Maybe I have a sinus infection. Maybe it's my allergies. I'm a little low energy, but I'm all right. She had that for about a week, 8 days. She couldn't smell or taste anything, though. It recently came back, freaked us all out, but no other symptoms. 1 week, and then that was gone. My son did the sleeping thing, like your husband is. And again, I'm not saying it's gender-related, but I say he had it. 1 week, was gone. He had a little bit low-grade fever early on, nothing else. You know my deal. Everybody's case is different. If you don't have symptoms early, it's a really good sign that they're not going to come anecdotally, okay? Now, how's your kid doing?
Fine. And my husband just told me I was getting ready to come on, and he said, I've been having those Cuomo dreams. He described them as the dreams that you were having, but he just mentioned that to me today. And, I'm still in a state of shock because I don't have any idea how we were exposed. Mm-hmm. And we've been very careful. Even, my kids have been careful. So I'm stunned.
Now, what do you do about the other kids?
Well, I have two more who one's tested positive, one's tested negative. I have two more who I have to get tested. And as fate would have it, I was actually with my mother yesterday, who I've not spent a lot of time with, just being mindful that she doesn't need to be around us. So she is going to get tested again, and then we'll figure it out. If I don't know. I hadn't gotten that far yet.
Well, also, as you know, I'm always a phone call away. And we have tremendous reach here between Sanjay and access to the task force and everything. Any information that I can help with in any way. You have to take it one test at a time, Mayor. You got to see how your mom is, see how she does. They will tell you, the doctors, that a big part of their understanding now, and again, don't be frustrated by what they say they don't know, because that's just the nature of this beast, is dose. What is viral dose? Viral dose is, how big a hit did you get? Early on, I was in hospitals all the time when this was first happening. I probably got a big dose. My wife was taking care of me. That's got to be how she got it. But she was being so careful. It took her 18 days to get it. Smaller dose. Didn't get sick, okay? My mother was around right up until when I got sick. I don't know when I had it. You know what I mean? I might know when my symptoms got worse. She's been great, thank God. Knock on wood. My son, same thing. He wasn't around me. Low dose. He got better very quickly. So factor that into your thinking. They are pretty aware about dose. And if you just went and visited with your mom and she hasn't been there and she hasn't been all over the house and everywhere where you guys are, those are all good factors for her well-being going forward. So let me ask you this, because my point tonight was not to make you more anxious. How does this change your
This is
personal
helpful.
sense of urgency, Ms. Mayor, about what you're dealing with. You've been incredibly committed to your community, but now that it's hit your family, what does that mean?
You know, Chris, I'm still as committed as I was on the front end. We still have this phased reopening in Atlanta despite the eagerness of the state to reopen. And so thankfully, many of our job centers still have not opened. Many people have been heeding all of the warnings that we've given. The governor's order does not allow us to put a mandatory mask in place. My good friend Mayor Savannah has done it. And so I think this is probably as good a time as any for Atlanta to follow suit with that. But it still remains the same. Black and brown communities are getting hit, and we are getting hit harder. Thankfully, my family, all of my kids have asthma. That's of concern to me, but my husband and I don't have underlying health conditions. And so prayerfully, you know, this will be as bad as it gets for us. But this is scary. We've done all the things that we thought that we should do. And for us to still test positive, I think really speaks to how easily this virus is spread. And obviously, none of us are immune from it.
Where are you on the freakout factor?
I think I'm still in shock right now. Quite honestly, I got the news around just before 6 o'clock, and I went and I was speaking with my husband. I said, "Can you believe this has happened?" So now I'm in mommy mode, trying to figure out what this means. I was trying to fix something to eat for one of my kids, and he's like, "Don't touch my food." And so, you know, so I just got to figure that out. My kids scattered when they heard that we were positive, so I probably won't see them for the next 14 days. You know, everybody's yelling across the house. So that's the other side of this. I'm mayor, but I'm also a mom and a wife, so I've got to wrap my brain around what exactly this means and how do I keep all of my the rest of my kids safe from people.
If you didn't identify with the priorities of people and their families, they wouldn't have elected you in the first place. It's always family first, and you're going to have to take care of that. Let me get a quick take from you as somebody who's dealing with both of these issues. The pandemic and the poison in our society is systemic racism. What is your response to the president saying, here's the good news, Mayor, 99% of the cases are harmless, and Confederate flag, I have no position.
Chris, I try not to give any energy to him because it is energy that I will never get back. That being said, each time he opens his mouth, he reminds us of how bad he is for this country. This is the reason that we all need to show up and vote in November. This man is dangerous. This virus is spreading across this country, and he refuses to do anything on behalf of the nation to make it stop. He is a danger to all of us, and that doesn't have anything to do with party affiliation. And so, you know, what can you expect? To expect something different from him is like insanity. And I just refuse to keep giving him that energy. I'm going to put my energy into electing a decent man in November, and that person is Joe Biden.
And getting well. Health first. Mayor Keisha Bottoms, thank you, especially getting this kind of news to come on and let the audience know how it is for you. I appreciate it very, very much. I'll keep you on when I go into the commercial. I'll make sure you have my phone number so you can reach me if there's anything I can do. God bless you and the family. I hope you get through it very quickly. And just like in my family, one of the kids had it, two of them didn't. So let's see what the tests show.